Good evening and welcome to the Common Council meeting for the City of Plymouth, September 24th, 2013. Clerk will call the roll, please.
Nelson.
Here.
Anderson.
Present.
Jarvis. Markham.
Here.
Fernsler.
Sure.
Hanson.
Present.
Sedlacek.
Present.
Williams.
Here.
We have a quorum for Common Council. Please stand for the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's Common Council meeting. Next item on the agenda is the approval of a list of items for consideration on the consent agenda. And I would ask maybe Attorney Feber has a comment that she wants to make, or would
No,
you
it's-
suggest?
It's probably me.
Oh, okay.
Right. Just wanted to make a comment regarding 6C, the anti-harassment and retaliation policy. We do have training for the entire employee base scheduled for October 14th and 16th, and I wanted to make the council aware that you will also be receiving CIVMIC harassment training on October 29th prior to the council meeting. It's been a couple of years since they did that with the council, and since there's new members, we thought we'd do it again and have a chance to meet some of the CIVMIC people that run the company there.
Real good, thank you. With that, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second, Alder Anderson.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Clerk will call the roll.
Hanson.
Yes.
Jarvis.
Yes.
Sedlacek.
Yes.
Markham.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Fernsler.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. Item 4 is the audience portion, where you sign in and be recognized by the chair, and we don't have anyone who signed in tonight. We certainly welcome people that want to come forward and address the council. It's your chance to talk, and we do the listening. Moving on, item 5, ordinance 5A, number 9, an ordinance amending Title 7, Chapters 1 and 8, dog license late fees and street use permit fee of the City of Plymouth, Code of General Ordinances, recommended by Finance and Personnel Committee on September 10th, 2013. I think maybe we should read that as it's the first time it's been published. So Clerk Huberty, why don't you read that for us, and then the chair will take a motion, and then we can discuss.
Whereas the City of Plymouth staff have reviewed the current code sections regulating late fees for dog licenses and fees for street use permits, and have determined a need for increase in fees due to the cost of administration and labor. Whereas the Common Council of the City of Plymouth has determined that it is substantiated and appropriate to increase these fees, now therefore the Common Council of the City of Plymouth, Wisconsin does hereby ordain as follows. Section 1, amending code, Section 714 of the Municipal Code of the City of Plymouth is hereby amended to read as follows. The deletions are shown as strikeouts on the paper copy. The city clerk treasurer shall assess and collect a late fee of $30, which is different than the previous amount of $10, from every dog owner 5 months of age or over if the owner failed to obtain a license prior to April 1st of each year, or within 30 days of acquiring ownership of a licensable dog, or if the owner failed to obtain a license on or before the dog reached licensable age. Said fee shall be charged in addition to the required license fee. Section 2, the amending code for Section 781, Parent F, street use permit fee, is amended to read as follows. The deletions are shown by strikeouts in the paper copy. Section 7-8-1, parent F, permit fee. Each application for a street use permit shall be accompanied by a fee of $25, replacing the fee of $15. Section 3, should any portion of this ordinance or the affected municipal code section be declared unconstitutional or invalid by a court of competent jurisdiction, the remainder shall not be affected. Section 4, the effective date of this ordinance shall take effect on January 1, 2014, and upon publication.
Thank you. The chair will entertain a motion.
Mayor Bowman,
Alderman Anderson.
I move to approve ordinance number 9 of 2013, an ordinance amending Title 7, Chapters 1 and 8, dog license late fees and street use permit fees of the City of Plymouth Code of General Ordinances.
Second, Alder Markham.
We have a first and a second discussion. Alderman Nelson?
Well, I just think it's important for the public to understand that there was a considerable amount of staff time put into trying to collect, get people to license their dogs and also to set up for street use permits, so that's the reason for increasing the fee. That we need to cover staff time with these fees.
Thank you. Any other comments? City Clerk Huberty?
I can make some comments. I worked with Chief Tauschek on the possibility of increasing these fees. We brought it to the Finance Committee, and his staff spends considerable time following up on, there was like 90 dogs that their officers had to go around door to door and try to get compliance there, plus in the cost of mailing postcards to late dogs, and as well as, other labor from the clerk's office. And we only make $2.75 per dog, so when you consider the amount of labor that goes into that, we really don't come out ahead on that. And we see the biggest area of problem is collecting the late fees, so we are asking for that. And also, Officer Todd Kronberg, who is a humane officer, has told me he supports this ordinance. He said there is a lot of man-hours that go into that, and hopes it encourages people to be compliant. And the street use permit fee, in my memo to the council, we talked about, we do a special assessment letter that is a $25 fee. We thought processing a street use permit fee, increasing that to $25 to help cover, certainly doesn't even come anywhere near covering the street department taking barricades out and picking them up and doing those such things. So that's why we feel this is substantiated to ask for this increase. And we appreciate the recommendation from the Finance Committee on this.
Thank you, Clerk Huberty. Any other comments? Clerk will call the roll.
Anderson.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Markham.
Yes.
Jarvis.
Yes.
Fernsler.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Sedlacek.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Item 6, consent agenda. Chair will entertain a motion.
So moved to approve the consent agenda?
Second, Alder Jarvis.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? The only thing I would, again, is remind people to be aware that the council will have their harassment training on October 9th, and there will be information that'll go out on that for the council. Any questions, you can always follow up with the clerk's office. Any other questions, comments? Clerk will call the roll.
Williams.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Fernsler.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Jarvis.
Yes.
Sedlacek.
Yes.
Markham.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. Item 7 is not needed. Item 8, committee reports and action. Item 8A, revolving loan committee recommendation from September 16th meeting. approve revolving loan application from True North Components Incorporated, 2100 Sunset Drive, in the amount of $140,000. And tonight we have Grandpa Blanky here to give us a update and some description, and then the chair will entertain a motion. So you're supposed to limp now because you're a grandpa. So.
Well, I know now I have a reason for doing it. Yeah, and it's, when you get to the point when your only child is 41 years old, you sort of wonder if she's going to have any, but everything worked out fine, so as of Saturday, that happened. This is one of the, we haven't had many new loans come to the council for quite a while. And this is one, True North Components. You see Jim Gartman, Chris Schneider, Kevin Meyer here today. Some of you may know them because they're from around here. And they were employed at Thomas Industries, which was taken over, which moved south, which didn't necessarily work out as well as the new owners thought it was going to, or did. And a lot of people, including the people here today, decided that it just wasn't for them. They basically are setting up business somewhat related in certain equipment that was produced by them, but they're very focused on what they're doing. They have experience for many years of doing it. And they're renting a facility over at what I still think of the Gilson property over down in Sunset Drive, but the Glacier Transit and Storage rents that now, and they're renting a portion of that space. They're making certain types of motors and well, what is it you're making?
Compressors and vacuum pumps.
For very specific products, for OEMs, getting it to manufacturers. People who want quality and they want it when they want it. They want service. It's not a sale of products to the consumer or something you'll see in Fleet Farm. It's to a manufacturer who wants it today and he wants it to be sure it works. They have stuck, if you looked at any of the materials, they've put a lot of their own funds into it from their retirement plans. They're looking for $140,000 from the city revolving loan. They're putting significantly amount more than that into it from their retirement plans, plus have some bank financing. They're looking at around 9 jobs to begin with and hopefully expand more. Under the rules we have to have 7 jobs for the amount of funds we're loaning, $20,000 per job. And again, it was an interesting one to go over because if you look at the materials, it was very well put together. They have a lot of experience, very targeted market. And so it was a little bit different than some of the others we've had come before us in the recent past. So the terms would be $140,000, 10-year amortization, 5-year balloon, starting at 2% and then going up 1% a year. There'd be personal guarantees, but given the type of business, there's no real estate, and there's a fairly limited amount of personal property. So we're just taking at this point was just going to be with the personal guarantees. And again, as opposed to some others we've done, they have a lot of skin in the game, as we say. So they're really committed to this. And if you have any questions, or gentlemen, if you'd like to say anything, or
Sir?
I read through your presentation here, which first I'd like to congratulate you on having the courage to start up a business and indicate my pleasure that you're doing it here in Plymouth. That's what we need, and we appreciate that. You indicated that you have a lot of experience regarding your product that you're going to be putting out, and you did that with Thomas Industries. And when you indicated competitors here, one of those that you indicated was Thomas Industries. Is there any non-compete clauses or anything that you people are subject to?
No, sir. No non-competes for any one of us.
Okay.
We did sign documents upon departure, which essentially said we weren't walking out of the building with drawings and we aren't taking trade secrets I'm gonna say at that time, we were so frustrated, I don't wanna take anything from that business because it was kinda scuppered at that point.
Okay, so what you're gonna produce out there, is that unique designs to you, or is that kind of, well, I guess since it's OEM, it's basically replacement parts and so forth?
It's OEM, our first customer is in Wanakee, the Madison area,
Mhm.
and they build it's an iron filter, if somebody has got iron in their well water or sulfur smells, it is a device that's very much like a water softener, but works with a water softener, and the pump that we sell injects 10 minutes of air each day, and the oxygen component of the air is used to cleanse the sulfur and the iron content. So that particular company buys 240 units a month, every single month, and they also private label for Culligan. We'll pick up the Culligan business around the first of the year.
Excellent.
So it's business that it's privately held. I will say, I'm not sure if I'd say it there exactly, but we prefer to buy from privately held companies as local as possible, and we prefer to sell to privately held companies as local as possible. So you're gonna kind of see that theme, because all three of us are from this area, and I had people telling me that you can't run a successful business in Wisconsin, and I absolutely refuse to accept that. It's just not true.
Well, I, again, congratulate you guys on having the wisdom to start up a company and locate it here in Plymouth, and I wish you success in that.
Thank you very much.
The chair will entertain a motion so we can discuss.
So moved, Alder Anderson.
We have a first and a second to approve the loan in the amount of $140,000 as indicated. Any additional questions, comments? I only have one. How many years have passed since you've left Thomas Industries?
I left April 24th, 2012, and these two gentlemen left within 2 weeks thereafter, so
Okay,
approximately May 1st of fall,
okay, so it's over a year.
year and a half. Right?
Good, okay, good. Thank you. Clerk will call the roll, please.
Markham.
Yes.
Sedlacek.
Yes.
Jarvis. Hanson.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Fernsler.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. Next item, Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move, Alder Hanson. Second, Alder Markham.
We have a first and a second. Any, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We stand adjourned. Thank you.